it was good. I enjoyed the Superman movie. Um, it was honestly definitely one of the best DC films that's come out in a while. Um, a lot of like Marvel style humor that I enjoyed, and I think they really kind of hit the nail on the head with it. That being said, there were some flaws that I have with the movie, and I'm not going to say it's perfect and the greatest movie of all time, but it certainly was a good time to go and watch. Um, but yeah, I did. I had a good time with this movie from start to finish. There's very enjoyable scenes and honestly some pretty good acting out of the actress. I don't know her name. The actress that plays Lois is super good. She's actually so good that it honestly annoys the crap out of me because she's just a good character. She has good character development through it. Well, not character development, but I think she has a good role throughout the movie, um, and really shows the true colors of like I'd hate to say a woman, but really like it was like I was dating that chick on screen, and I remember there was moments where I'm like, oh, like this sucks. This chick blows. And there's other moments where I enjoyed her character as I think Superman would enjoy her character. And yeah, so she was an awesome character in the movie. And then they had the Justice Gang, which was pretty hype. They had Green Lantern, they had Mr. Terrific, and then they had Hawk Girl. And I think pretty much all three of those characters were played pretty well. It was kind of a bummer to see like them toss Green Lantern the way they did because I've always liked him as a character, and he's always been one of my favorite superheroes. But other than that, it was fine. Mr. Terrific, awesome character. I mean, they really fleshed him out and gave him a good story. James Gunn is really good about like getting you to care about a character, and it's honestly pretty exciting to see what they're gonna do with the next couple of movies. It feels like they're starting a good trend. I hope it kind of moves forward. Um, that and the last Batman movie that came out, those were two excellent films that really like were great. So I think DC's on the way to kind of running the show here for a little bit, which I don't mind at all. Marvel ran its course, and we're kind of in a weird spot with Marvel, and now we're going through to another spot, which is awesome. Um, and yeah, so Green Lantern, obviously my favorite character, Mr. Terrific. He was so awesome. They gave him some really good lines, and he's honestly a very strong character. They have a line in the movie where they're like, they go, "He's the smart one," and you kind of feel that, and you're like, "Oh, he's just a nerd, and he's not able to handle it." And then you kind of like think about it. You're like, "Oh crap, he like fought some huge, huge monster earlier in the movie. Like, let's see what he can do." And he absolutely tosses these guys at the barracks, which was sick. Sick to see. Hog Girl, kind of the only character that wasn't fleshed out. I don't think she had many lines, but that was fine. Um, she was just, she wasn't annoying and she wasn't bad, and she honestly, for the little bit of lines she did have through the movie, were very good. Um, and yeah, so that's been pretty awesome. Now, that being said, I have some flaws with the movie. I hate meta humor in any movie, and I feel like every movie loves to shove meta humor as far as they can into it, and this movie was no different. They had some meta jokes in there that just, it's like, all right, like, why are we doing this? But it's kind of funny because like even one of the meta jokes that they had in there actually had like payoff towards the end, which was pretty good. Like this chick, and I'll get to spoiler territory. So spoilers here on out. I guess I already kind of had spoilers, but here are definite spoilers. This chick is like taking selfies throughout the movie, and you're like, ugh, like why like are you like shoving her in our face? And it turns out like she's taking selfies of different points of the movie, different points of like the big bad's evil schemes, and I actually thought that that was pretty cool because I hated the selfie jokes. I was like, why is she like taking so many selfies? Like, I understand we're trying to throw humor in there, but for that to have that payoff was actually like really good, and I really appreciated it. And it actually gave her more of a brain in the movie than just being like this dumb chick that you really don't care about. There's some other things in the movie that I didn't like. They shoved humor into a lot of things. You know, I like Crypto the dog. I think Crypto the dog was a very strong point of the movie. It's also kind of like a point, you know, where how can you hate the dog? You can't. Like it's almost impossible. They write him in such a good way. They give him very dog-like traits, which is awesome because everyone's got a dog and we know how they are. And for it to be a supersonic death machine of an animal and still be a dog is really sick to see on screen. And they pulled it off really well. I appreciated Crypto, and they had good payoff with him. And even though he was funny a lot of the movie, and I like humor in movies, and I think you can have humor in movies, but you know, sometimes it gets a little over. But I think they handled his scenes very, very well. And yeah, that comes to my downsides with the movie. Another downside with the movie. They made Lex Luthor very evil up to a point, and then they made him like a comedy relief character, which sucks. Because I personally loved just how unbelievably evil Lex Luthor was. Like, I was like, oh yeah, bro, he's just evil, and there's no reason for him to be evil. He just is. Like, he just hates things and likes being evil. And that's awesome. I love that in movies because I feel like we don't have that enough nowadays. And, you know, there's always a character where it's like, I have some backstory. Like, Lex Luthor was like, heck no, bro. His whole backstory was that he just wanted to kill Superman, which is an awesome, like, that's so awesome because you just don't see that nowadays. However, like, towards the end, they kind of take away some of his grit and some of what I think really made the character great. And kind of pushed him towards another area. And that was a little disappointing because I would have loved to have seen him just go full evil mode and just straight. Like, there's a point towards the middle of the movie where he, like, just shoots a guy right in front of Superman. And it's a really hard moment to watch. And you're like, oh, crap, he's evil, man. Like, this is crazy. And then, like, towards the end, he's, like, throwing pencils on the ground. And this was kind of the thing that annoyed me. He, like, threw these pencils on the ground. And at first, it's like, okay, like, these people are afraid because he's throwing these pencils. He's just mad. And then he does it again, like, just kind of like as a joke. And it's like, oh, like, that's not really funny. Like, it goes from him being, like, evil to him being just, like, a jerk, you know? And it kind of sucked for me. I was like, all right, whatever. But it wasn't, like, too big of a gripe for me to be like, oh, this is the worst movie ever. Because I actually did enjoy the lot of it. And finally, I guess we'll get to Clark Kent, Superman. Great character. Really great character. I mean, he's literally just a dog. Like, just a dog protecting Earth. And he loves Earth, and he loves being a hero and being good. And that's an excellent point. Like, I love that about him. He was the ultimate good in the movie. And, you know, his whole story there was that, like, he wasn't sent for good. And he hated that. And that's, like, that was awesome. Clark Kent, however, is not I think he's in one scene total. Maybe two. But even then, like, like the second scene that he's in, he's not really Clark Kent. He's more of just Superman, where Superman was born, and he's still Superman there. But yeah, Clark Kent at the beginning, it would have been nice to see like a little bit more Clark Kent, but he really wasn't in there. So yeah, those are kind of my thoughts on the Superman movie. I really enjoyed it. I did. I was in the theater, and there's multiple moments through that movie where I'm like, this is cool. Like, this is an awesome scene. They have a couple just really, really cool scenes where Superman's just kind of going all out. Oh man, this is probably my biggest gripe. They made Superman weak as crap, yo. He was very weak. I mean, like, noticeably, like, Superman's supposed to be a titan, in my opinion. He's supposed to be unbeatable to a point where, like, he can't get beat. Like, nothing will faze him, And there was probably a couple too many times where he got hit by something and it showed that he got hit by something, or he was actually just getting beat, bro. He got beat multiple times in these movies, which is ridiculous because it's like, you're Superman. Like, you are able to do anything, and they kind of made him weak. Like, even when he was catching buildings, it's like, why would you, in my opinion, Superman is supposed to be just so unabsurdly strong where he can just carry anything and anything is easy to him. And it, to the point where everything's so easy and he's so absurdly strong that, like, his biggest weakness is that he has to, like, get weaker to, like, catch buildings so he doesn't destroy the building, or so he doesn't destroy and accidentally kill something, or use too much force on something. That doesn't really happen in the movie. A lot of the movie, he's like genuinely like putting up his best fight and getting absolutely the snot kicked out of him. It's ridiculous. So yeah, these are my thoughts on the Superman movie. I thought it was really good, but I have a couple gripes. If I were to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably say 8.5, which is a really good movie. I mean, that's definitely better than all the Marvel movies, or all of the DC movies that have come out in the past couple of years besides Batman. Batman was another great movie. I'd also give that an 8.5 to a 9. So, yeah, thanks for watching.